All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another week of my weekly stock picks. This is for the week of March 1st to March 5th. Had a few interesting last couple of weeks where we're seeing a big tech pullback and pretty much an overall market pullback. Value stocks are doing decent, but kind of a red week. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I want to show you, as I mentioned in my video earlier, if you want to go watch my video, I just posted at 5 p.m. Pacific time today. I explained to you the three different possibilities I'm seeing right now. We're at a crucial juncture where we're either going to see a bounce, and we could keep going up. We could see it drop down to the 382 level, which shows us that we're on a wave 4, or we can drop down all the way to the 0.618 level, which shows us we're on a wave 2. So those are the three possibilities I'm seeing. So like I said, I explained that in greater detail in my other video. Please go check that out. Like and subscribe on YouTube, and then if you're not following already, please follow me on Twitter at Don'tFeedBear. So let's go ahead and jump into the slides. Changed a few things up this week. So instead of 10 stock rule this year, we're going to do 2 winners and a loser. So my highest performing stock is Fisker. We're at 91.79% return. Hey, I brought this to you guys I think 3-4 weeks ago, and I told you that this was kind of the laggard of the EVs, and I expected it to take off, and sure enough, it not only has, almost a triple bagger right there. Look at that, 91%. That's awesome. Second highest stock is CVX at a respectable 12.03% for Chevron. Like I said, value stocks have been doing pretty well. It did have a pullback on Friday, or else this number would be even better. And my lowest performing stock is Plug, but there's a little hope with Plug. So we're hoping Plug doesn't stay on this list too long. All right, let's go ahead and jump into my 4 stock picks of the week, which is American Airlines, Fisker's back on here, Disney, and Dave & Buster's. So as always, I go through, and one of the other changes, I'm going to give you the type of setup rather than explain where it is in the setup. So for American Airlines, we have an Elliott Wave Theory. Fisker, we have Elliott Wave Theory. And Disney and Play, we're hoping to bounce off trendline support. So I give you your buy zones, your cut loss, and your price target. I also show you the charts that I'm seeing and that I use to make these decisions, so that if you have questions, you can ask and use exactly what I use. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. So for American Airlines, let's take a look at what we're seeing on them. They're a value play. As the economy opens up, airlines are going to be doing really well. I see we got the support line going. I drew out a 5 wave, and so far it's following it pretty well. We had a nice jump last week for it being a value stock. I could see this jumping back down and testing trend line support, and then bouncing up to wave 3. So a really good buy zone would be somewhere around here. I would definitely keep an eye on that. Like I said, take a look at the numbers on my chart. On my slides. All right, so American Airlines. Oh, sorry, I almost forgot the indicators. So yeah, it's at overbought. That's one of the reasons I think it dips. We're above the Ichimoku cloud, which is good. The yellow is above. It just crossed recently, so that shows that we probably have more to go. Not liking this too much, but like I said, it shows we're coming, a little rough patch. So maybe this was it right here, and then we're coming up. So we'll see. MACD is above and going higher. The squeeze indicator is going higher. AAL does have a high short interest, so maybe Wall Street Bets gets their hand on this one. So this could be one to really watch. So be careful. Like I said, the market right now is a little tricky. So keep your eyes on American Airlines. All right, let's look at Fisker. Fisker took off this past week. Really great week, especially if you were able to buy in somewhere around here, when I introduced it. I personally think that people are going to be really happy with these profits, and there's going to be a big selling day on Monday or Tuesday, and then it's going to come back up. So I think this is a real good opportunity. The indicators are showing really strong. Everything's pointing up. Like I said, I got a feeling it's a sell day early in the week, and then more people buy back in to try and push it back up to wave 3 and get it up to the $39. Most smaller EV companies have kind of followed that trend, and we're hoping to see the same thing with Fisker. So let's keep an eye out for this one. All right, up next is Disney. By the way, I love Wanda and Vision. It gets better every week. It's such a good show. So strongly suggest if you haven't watched it already on Disney+. Okay. So right here, we keep bouncing on this trend line support. Every time we touch this line, we take off. Touch this line, we take off. Well, we touched it again. We got to see that bounce play come in, and so that we can go up to 210s around there. Indicators are showing strength above the Ichimoku cloud. We crossed 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and so far it's been trending really well. The cloud looks good. We're showing a little weakness here. Wouldn't touch this, so I think we'd like to see a push, especially with the MACD. We don't want it to go in that bearish territory. And then, things are kind of heading down, so maybe we get a little dip, but, maybe an early day drop and then boost back up by the second half of the day. So this is a little bit riskier, but, Disney's just been on such a tear lately that maybe we want to capitalize on that. So that's Disney and Dave & Buster's. So all of them have been shut down. They, will come back online as soon as the economy opens up. It looks like we are starting to open back up with vaccines and all this stuff. So this is a great, play for when things open up. So far, I'm kind of seeing that it keeps coming close to this line, this white trend line right here. It keeps coming close and then popping back up. So, let's ride this out as long as we can. We'd like to see this move up. Squeeze indicator is kind of deciding which way it wants to go. It's leaning towards going higher, so keep an eye on that. Like I said, this is also another risky play, but it's hard to argue when it just keeps on going up. So, and Ichimoku Cloud looks good. So, like I said, it keeps on just chugging along. So, I really like this pick. Yeah. So, all right, time for the earning plays. The earning plays of the week is Neo, Fubo, Snowflake. So, Neo, every single the reports for quarter-over-quarter growth, year-over-year growth, it keeps on going up. So I know it's in kind of a downtrend. Right? All the EVs are taking profits and kind of a downtrend. But I think money, especially starting with Fisker, maybe we see a rotation back into the EV plays. So maybe its earnings are what kicks it off. It's Monday after the close. Maybe this is worth a run here. It's been pushed down pretty hard. We're at critical levels for Neo. I think maybe we get a bounce here. So Fubo TV, kind of same thing. IPO'd recently. Going to be one of its first earnings. Maybe it surprises everyone and we see a nice little boost. Snowflake, I picked that one because it's been kind of quiet lately. But when you're backed by Salesforce and you're backed by Warren Buffett, you got something here. So I'm very curious for my own curiosity. I want to see what their earnings show. I want to see what they look like. They IPO'd recently as well. So I'm very curious to see if they get a nice big drop, but their earnings show strength. I will be buying that dip a lot into my long term. I just think, one of these cloud plays is going to be the one, and I'm starting to lean towards Snowflake or Fastly being the one. So we'll keep an eye on this, on these three for the upcoming week. Okay, honorable mention plays. Ride. So I just mentioned Fisker took off. So Lordstown has mentioned that they're getting things out, and they've had some news lately. They've gone down. They came down pretty hard, but they came down to the 618 level. So maybe we see that nice little pop. If you look, the trend really hasn't taken off. So just the same way Fisker was kind of that laggard, now Lordstown could be, or Ride, and we can see a nice little pop up to mid in the 40s. So high risk, high reward. As I need to see a little more strength towards the upside. Let's see what the indicators say. This was another issue. It's at its all-time low for RSI. It's headed down, but maybe we see this and come back up. So it has it is below the cloud. That's a concern. It's not always 100% accurate, but there are a few concerns. That's why this is a high risk, high reward play. On my honorable mentions. So keep an eye on this one. Plug. So Plug was my biggest loser so far, but as you can see here, it broke the 618, but intraday only. It didn't close below this. It closed above the 618. And now it's starting to see, maybe moving back up. If you look at the indicators, it's showing it's showing like it dropped, and then now it's pushing back up through the cloud. RSI is low. You're starting to see that bend here. You're starting to see these flatten out, and maybe Plug has a lot of upside. It's got an opportunity here to make a nice jump. So this is definitely one I am keeping a very close eye on. I sold my Plug position for my call, but I might jump in on shares here because they're looking pretty, like there's a chance here that it might take off. So keep an eye on them. Okay, FCell. FCell and Plug are very similar. They're competitors, I believe, and they run similar as well. And as you can see, look at it. It's the same thing. It's just dropped. It barely dropped past the 618, and now it wants to go back up. Same thing here. It's almost the same trend. So if you like one, maybe you'll like the other. So I want to see this bend. The second it crosses, I'm buying. if I'm hoping that happens Monday, Tuesday, and I can buy in and make some good money off FSL and plug. So keep an eye on these guys. I got a strong feeling about them. So, and last one is Nvidia. So the semiconductor sector all got hit hard, but one of the reasons could be is because of the shortage in supply. Every single vehicle, whether it's EV or not, is going to need chips. And so chip manufacturers are going to be huge for the next 5-10 years. Everything is going to use them. And then we're changing an entire fleet of internal combustion engine cars to EVs that use lots of chips. So they need high quality chip manufacturers such as AMD, Nvidia, Intel, these type companies. I'm pretty sure Apple will get into that place somehow. They always seem to find the way to do it. But this one right now, it's heading down, so I think it needs a little bit more time, but I got a strong feeling that semiconductors make a really strong push up if we get this bounce next week. So keep an eye on Nvidia. And those are my honorable mention, my earning plays, and my stock picks of the week. Like I said, this if you watch my other video, I broke down the market environment. So we have 3 options. We're going to find out very early next week where we're kind of headed. I'm hoping for a bounce. Like I said in the earlier video, I have a slight lean towards the bounce, but not by much. Right now, it's kind of almost 50-50 which way it could go. So if you guys have questions, let me know. Please be careful in the market this week. It is going to be very tricky. Just don't over risk. Please don't lose your whole account now. Keep putting into that long term. These are really good low prices, and more low prices could be coming, or this could be the bounce that we've been waiting for. So, all right, everyone, have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you in the market open on Monday. Take it easy.